Hey campers, Georgia, back in the man cave. There's the boss. We were discussing some knives. Got a question for you. Do you know where these were made? An electrician and a barlow. Electrician, right? Do you know where they're made? I was surprised. Let's check them out. So this is an electrician. The main difference you see here is this is stainless. And then you've got a wood handle, pretty sturdy, a little rusty. Perfect, right? If you look here at the blade, it doesn't have that big belly spear point that we use. It's more of a drop point. I suppose it is a spear point, except it's not really in the center. Has the tool. Nice and sturdy. Here's the tank step. You see that? Here it is here. Right? Pakistan. What's going on here? This looks like a really sturdy knife. So I looked through my other stuff and found this guy. A barlow. Bone handles. Well made. Sturdy. Yeah. Made in Pakistan. I am not so horrified by these. You know, I don't know about you, but I was always under the impression that, stay away from them Pakistan knives. They're not very good. Well, I got to tell you, we're about to find out. I'm going to clean these guys up because, I'm starting a Pakistan set. I've got a few. You know what? Let me go grab them. Okay, not as many as I thought. The other ones, well, they're parts for me. They're missing stuff. But I got this one here. Look at this. You may remember this one. It's a slimline trapper. Saber. Pakistan. Look at this. This is a nice little slimline. Don't know about you. I wouldn't mind carrying this. That's why I want to clean this up. And this up. And let's have a closer look at him. And see if all this, they terrible stuff, is really true. Yeah, I did some research. So, I'm going to clean these up real quick. Allegedly. And then we'll have a look at what it's all about and what's going on with this Pakistani's terrible stuff. So here we are. I'm going to quickly go through and clean these guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you. You've all seen the process. I'll be taking through the sandpaper grits, go all the way up, and then once we've done that, we'll clean them up with mothers. We'll sharpen them. Yeah, might be a good idea. Look pretty beat up. Same thing with this one. Now, I believe they're both stainless. So, let's give them a clean up. So on this one here, it's the stainless blade, and I just rubbed it quickly with 1200. It cleaned off the rough stuff. The problem is it's going to take this off. So let me see if I can clean around it. There's another problem. Yeah, that got bent. These are not pry bars. Why do people think that? When they get rid of the rough stuff, clean out here. It's got nice brass liners and things like that. It's got this I'm going to say bone handle. This is a typical marking out there. So I'm going to do that real quick. By the way, I get a lot of questions where I find the sandpaper. I find it on Amazon, but if you just type in foam-backed sandpaper, you're going to get a bunch of choices. Just choose the one you want. It'll have different grit. So it come in packages. Look at the ones you want. Get what you need. Pretty inexpensive, and they work well. I just cut this into 3 pieces so that I don't waste. So there you go. By the way, this is 3000, and I think I'm going to use it on this stainless here, and hopefully it'll work. I want to just clean them up and see if I can straighten this tip. Yeah, it makes me nervous. I think I'll let you know. So, let's have at it. Here I gave it a couple of little taps and it's cleaned it up. But I'm wondering how soft this is, because it didn't take a lot. We'll see how it sharpens. That'll tell us just how soft it is. So here it is at 3000, and you can see they clean up just fine. I like this bone, horn, whatever it is. Unusual. A little concerned about the steel. I felt that the bolster steel was tougher than this, but what do I know? I mean, it cleaned up. And I've just got to do mothers now. Let's see how that electrician does. I'm kind of interested in that one. So here is the electrician. A lot of staining. This could do with a good clean. It says it's stainless. Also needs a bail. The other problem I came across was, see this cutout here? On the top here? It's so you can get to the nail nick of the knife blade. Don't line up. This needs to be a little bit longer. I might try that. This is awfully thick. I'll give it a start and see what happens. Because the nail nick, if you look carefully, I can't really show you. This only gives you access to a little piece of the nail nick. Which makes it kind of difficult to get out. Let's clean it up and go from there. Oh, I'm using 1200 by the way. So here we are at 1200, and it cleans up fine. It's expected. The one, I don't want to go to 3000 yet, because I wanted to show you this. Here you can see the nail nick of the main blade behind this divot.
I'm going to see if I can increase that. Okay, let's look at this guy again. So I enlarged it quite a lot. And I found an old bale, which kind of sort of works. It's a little crooked and bent, but you get the idea. Put that blade. And then the tool locks well. This lock really works well for the tool. And it does have a half stop, by the way. Has a half stop. And now you can get to the nail nick a lot easier. Not perfect, but it'll work. Much easier access. Let's sharpen these blades and see what happens. Doesn't look too bad cleaned up, right? Kind of like this brassy look for the bolster. I'm just going to use the field sharpener on the little blades. Well, let's see what happens. Doesn't feel very sharp. Yeah. Let's go back to the rough. It is sharp, but man, it seems awfully soft. Let's see what we can do with this guy. I think I'm going to use the big sharpener. Doesn't take a lot to sharpen it. So there you go. Touched him up with some mothers, sharpened him, cleaned him up. They're not bad knives. I'm just not so sure about the steel. Now, depending on how old these are, that's going to make a difference. I'm going to say this first. They had a really bad reputation. Knives out of Pakistan. Now look at this guy. This is a nice knife. It's a nice little electrician. Don't see anything wrong with it. I'd probably take this to work, although I won't. I want to keep it for my Pakistan collection. I just wish I could date these things. Look at this handle. I mean, I think it's horn or bone. Horn, I think. Barlow on it. Looks like a barlow to me. Just that steel. It seems a little soft, but I'm guessing, and it might just be a bias built into me, which is what happens
when you get a reputation and you don't try and fix it. Reading, I've done a lot of reading, and I made notes, and I could spend the next 2 hours with you talking about what I found in the notes. Nobody wants that. I need coffee today. Over time, you have to realize that Pakistan is basically a third world country. They don't have the means to compete with the USA built knives. They have cheap labor, sure, so they can compete price-wise, even better than China. I looked up some of the Pakistan-made knives. They're less than $10 for a knife like this, and I'm talking $6, $7. That's nothing. We couldn't even buy the steel here in the US for that, to make this knife. Never mind the bone. Stainless. I don't know how good it is. Once again, we're at that point where I've never seen a stainless from them, and I'm not convinced. It's got pitting in it and things like that. But I like the idea. The brass and everything, it's a pretty knife. Clean it up, it looks nice. This little oops here, they weren't paying attention. I don't think they realized that. But it works fine now. It took me all of about 3 minutes to fix. I just elongated that hole. Well, the clip, this little piece that they had cut out here, it's made a little longer so it matches up to the nail neck. Other than that, looks fine to me. I like the wood handle, the brass. The brass bolsters is a pretty cool look. Just not so sure how strong it is. Will it wear on the pin? I don't know. Don't know how old this knife is. But it looks used, just like this guy. Whoever had them used them, so they must work, right? And the steel is not hard enough. They were kind of sharp when I got them, so they've been sharpened, but they're not like worn away. I don't know what to say. Looking up about Pakistan, I wanted to see what people said. And there was the usual, oh, the horror. They're nowhere near as good. They're worse than the Chinese. And then there was a comment like, you mean the way the Chinese used to be? Right? Thought that was interesting. I'm just thinking Pakistan's a couple of steps behind everybody else. They don't have the equipment that China has, that we have, that Europe has. They're using old stuff, so they're behind. And I think that's the issue that they had with their steel. They know what to do to the steel to make it harder and that sort of thing. But they cannot be consistent because of the way they're doing it and the equipment they have to do it with. Whereas over here, press a button, zing, there, perfect, right? They're not there yet. But I can tell you they're starting to work that way. And oh, by the way, for you that don't know it, there are USA companies that have been buying the knives from Pakistan, having them made there. Don't be fooled. Just say. On my piece of paper here, in Pakistan there is a city, just like in Germany there's a city, Solingen, and in Pakistan they have their own little town that's a knife town. Now you want me to pronounce it. Here it is here. Wazirabad. Wazirabad? Wazirabad? There you go. Is the central hub for Pakistan knife industry. There's hundreds of them. And a lot of them are little family guys that are just have their own little family business going there. There's some of the bigger ones. They say here there's a company called Pakistan Cutlery. Never heard of them, but known for producing various folding knives, including the barlow, and using heat-treated stainless steel. Wait a minute. Maybe. Kent Industries. Don't get confused between Kent here and Kent there. Kent here is no longer.
A family-owned third-generation company in that town that I couldn't pronounce, producing pocket knives and hunting knives with a strong focus on exporting to Europe and the USA. Knives Ranch, a company specializing in handcrafted, often Damascus knives with a focus on bushcraft and camp designs. They say the common characteristics of Pakistani folding knives is what are we talking about here, are handmade using 440 stainless steel or Damascus steel with handles made from wood, bone or horn. Many products are sold under the labels like Pakistan Cutlery through suppliers on platforms like Alibaba. If you haven't heard about them, big retail company, they offer programs where if you want a product, you can go to them. They'll find you the manufacturer and make it for you. And discount cutlery. So there's a lot going on there. I saw a conversation on one of the chat board people, and a guy came on and he said, I'm from Pakistan. I'm a Pakistani. And he said, I understand why people feel that way about our knives because, and it was interesting that he said, we did nothing to stop that thought of people saying Pakistani knives are terrible, steel's terrible, this is terrible, that's terrible. I can say there's nothing wrong with this knife. This is a great, great little knife. It's a toothpick, basically. Slimline, whatever you want to call it. Sabre Pakistan. It's even got a model number. So Sabre even used them. If you give them the spec and tell them the way you want it, I'm pretty sure they could do it for you. But nobody bothers to go there and ask them. Are they going to be the next China? I like these. You know what? I'd buy one for less than $10. Something like this as a work knife. Hey, who cares if you break it, right? It's less than $10. This, well, I don't think... There's a lot of things on this one that I felt a little iffy about. If you look at the pin there, it's a brass pin. See that? Not sure I want brass there on steel. It's going to wear pretty quickly. But think about that. It's easier to replace a brass pin than it is to replace the blade. Been there, right? So, maybe it's deliberate. I mean, it's a barlow. It meets all the specs of a barlow. Size, blades, for less than $10. I will say this. Rough Rider was in their price range, but the quality from Rough Rider was way better. And I think the reason was they had one manufacturer in China doing it the way they wanted him to, and they made sure they did it right. Whereas people going to Pakistan are going willy-nilly to everybody who's got the cheapest price. You the guy, here's the spec and leave. Send me the knives. That's the attitude. And they've got to get out of that if they want to get better and become part of the knife community worldwide. They're never going to get rid of the stigma in the USA. Not unless they start producing consistent knives. I didn't even know they were big on folding knives. You've all seen their fixed blades. And I went online and looked. The humanity. They got a bunch there and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, that's not bad at all. The price, well, you can't beat it. Their labor prices are nothing. Anywho, enough whining and whatever. Ooh, yeah, we are. We've now got 3 Pakistanis that we're willing to put into a collection. Barely. I mean, look at this electrician. I will say this. I think this is the first electrician I ever got where the liner lock lined up right away. Didn't have to fiddle with it to get it to work. So they're doing something right. Just saying. You all be safe out there.
especially when cleaning knives and things like that. You saw me tape it up. I mean, the blades weren't sharp, but they were sharp. And sharp is sharp. It cuts. Really sharp cuts deep. Not so sharp makes a real mess. Just saying. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Tell me your thoughts on Pakistani stuff. Did you grow up like I did? Don't want to touch them? We didn't have a choice. Any knife that came into a shop, we bought it, if we could afford it. These days, we can be a little bit more picky. We're all grown up, we have a life, we have a job, and if we save for, 3 months, we can buy one. Just saying, I might have a look at something else. I want to do I like this comparison thing. I think it's what I want to do. Got a couple of campers here. Think you might be interested in seeing. Pretty interesting. But hey, that's another story. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.